Just prison. Federal Executive Council approves 14.88 billion naira for the construction of the FIRS office. Jigawa State Governor presents 178.57 billion naira 2023 appropriation bill. Another foreign scene, Democratic Republic of the Congo jets bomb M23 rebel targets in the east.
This is Freedom Global News.
Good evening, you listen to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. I am Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Today is the 9th of November 2022, which is equivalent to the 14th of Rabiul Awwal 1444 after Hijri. And now the news in full. The prison decongestion program of the Ministry of Justice has resulted in the release of 12,000 inmates across correctional centers in the country since 2016. Secretary of the Prison Decongestion Committee of the Ministry, Mrs. Patricia Ayola Daniels, made this known in Abuja today at the 2023 budget defense of the ministry. The budget defense was conducted by the Senate Committee on the Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters for the ministry and its agencies. According to her, the ministry, after the release of the inmates, had also upgraded the skills acquisition centers, starting with the pilot center of Kefi Correctional Center, to equip the inmates that were released. She also disclosed that legal services was provided to inmates during the decongestion exercise. And the Federal Ministry of Justice also has supported the release of 180 juveniles from foster institutions in the country. The Federal Executive Council has approved a contract for the construction of a new office block and parking lot worth over 14.88 billion naira for the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS). The Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clement Akbar, disclosed this today after the council meeting presided over by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the State House. Akbar told State House correspondents that the construction of the 12-story building would save FIRS 4 billion naira annual rent and decongest traffic along Awolowo Road. The council also approved the creation of a database of the National Capital Projects Information System of Government to track the growing abandoned and uncompleted projects across the country, particularly in the last 5 years, which drained national funds. The National Capital Projects and Information System, which involves key infrastructure ministries, is to be headed by the Finance Minister to prioritize and fund selected projects on a yearly basis and possibly privatize some of the projects proposed, some for alternative use, and completely abandon others, depending on the outcome of the investigations, treating them as a sunk cost. The coalition of 21 non-governmental organizations in Kano State has called on the Kano State gubernatorial candidates to prioritize sectors which include health, education, women, youth, and children development as part of their plans for the development of the state. The chairman of the 21 NGO coalition in Kano, Dr. Aminu Magashi Garba, stated this today during an interactive session with the state's gubernatorial candidates. Dr. Magashi said the rationale behind the interactive session is to have a dialogue with them on their developmental plans for the state.
So we are giving every candidate a one-on-one opportunity to speak up on the plans for Kano. We are not organizing debate. We are organizing a town hall discussion. A candidate presents his ideas, then members of the NGOs and the media now ask questions. And based on all these conversations, we are going to produce a charter, of demand for the community through the G21. And we are also hoping that in December or January, we are going to organize a peace summit in collaboration with the Office of the Commissioner of Police in Kano.
Saluton Kuyakase, one of the gubernatorial candidates that participated during the interactive session, said the NGOs have come with a new innovation by giving them an opportunity to express their plans for the state.
21 have really come with an innovative way of engaging candidates in Kano State. They have really put together a very wonderful and commendable event. It's an opportunity for candidates to tell the stakeholders what they intend to do if they get elected, inshallah.
Correspondent Zara Unasi reports that the gubernatorial candidates of Kano State discussed on areas of health, education and infrastructure, among others. Another sporting arena, Nigerian side Wales Queens will be eyeing history when they take on AS FAR in the semi-final of the CAF Women's Champions League today. Razana has details of this and other sports updates.
The WAFUB champions became the first Nigerian club to reach the last four of the competition and will be aiming to take it further when they file out against the Moroccans late. Coach Domo Okara's girls secured the semi-final ticket after grabbing 2 wins in 3 matches. The Prosperity girls had lost their first tie to South African side Mamelodi Sundowns but bounced back to claim the second position in Group B of the Continental Tournament. Meanwhile, Super Falcons striker Asisat Oshoala has added a new honor to her ever-growing shelf of laurels after she was honored by the Women's International Champions Cup for her role in advancing women's soccer. The Barcelona forward, who was named at the 3rd annual WICC Best 11, and Colombian Deportivo Cali forward Linda Quesedo were the 2 footballers nominated for the prestigious awards alongside others. England national team coach Serena Wigman, journalist Jeff Kassouf, and Anna Kessel, U.S. soccer president Cindy Paulo Cone, and Ali Chief Marketing Officer Andrea Brimmer were other members on the award list. In another update, Senegal's Sadio Mane was substituted early in Bayern Munich's home match against Werder Bremen with a leg injury just 11 days before the start of the World Cup in Qatar. The injury on Tuesday raised fears that the 2-time African Footballer of the Year may not be fit for the start of Teranga Lions' World Cup campaign. However, the German club's assistant coach Dina Top-Moela said that the injury is not too serious and the Senegal international should be fit in time for the tournament that kicks off on November 20th. And on tennis, Novak Djokovic's wife Helena said there was nothing dodgy about a drink prepared for the player during Saturday's Paris Masters semi-final win. A video showing Djokovic's physio Ulysses Badio mixing a drink while being shielded by his team has been viewed 15 million times on social media. The video led to questions on social media about what was in the mixture and why Djokovic's team were attempting to hide it. Zarzana, Freedom Radio.
The global news is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com, or call us through this number, 082 444163. Welcome back. You still listen to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. Jigawa State Governor Muhammad Badr Abubakar has presented the sum of 178.57 billion naira appropriation bill to the State House of Assembly for the 2023 fiscal year. The bill, tagged Budget of Consolidation for Sustainable Socio-Economic Development, succeeded the 2021 Budget of Sustained Economic Growth and Social Transformation.
Funding for the proposed budget is envisaged to be from various sources, including state independent revenues, federal transfers, other capital receipts, and financing items. Those include statutory allocation and other federal transfer of 50.57 billion, value-added tax of 28 billion, tech taxes and other internally generated revenue, 2.9914 billion.
Governor Badr also said that the sources of funds of 2023 budget will be from internal and external avenues.
Mr. Speaker, honorable members, those were highlights of the 2023 proposed budget of the state and the 27 local government, for which I am submitting the 2 separate appropriation bill for the consideration of this honorable house. In addition, I will also be submitting, along with those, the details of the 2 budgets and other documents related thereto.
Jigawa State Government House correspondent Aminu Umar Shuwaji reports that the governor appreciated the donor agency for their contribution towards the development of the state, as well as the efforts and support given to his administration by the Jigawa State House of Assembly throughout the first and second tenure. The Emir of Kano Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero has expressed dismay over the absence of 5 local governments in the state in this year's state Quranic competition. Alhaji Aminu Ado Bayero expressed this at the opening of the state Quranic competition held at the School for Arabic Studies SAS in Kano. The Emir directed the state's committee for the competition to find out why those 5 local governments, which includes Kano Municipal, Garu, Malan, Doguwa, Kiru, and Roko, refused to participate. The Emir also called on parents to enroll their children into schools in order to obtain qualitative education in different professions and thanked the committee of the Quranic competition for organizing it. Speaking at the occasion, the chairman of the state Quranic competition, Sheikh Gwani Yahuza Gwani Danzarga, represented by Malam Abdurrahman Tijani, who shed more light on the history of the competition, which was established since 2015 and a remunerated success recorded by the board. And on business, we have Abdurrahman Hamisuna Medina with updates.
Nigeria's public debt stock rose from 35.46 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2021 to 42.84 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2022. This includes external and domestic debt according to the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics (NBS) and its domestic and foreign debt report for second quarter 2021 to second quarter 2022 released in Abuja today. The NBS stated that external debt stood at 13.71 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2021 and increased to 16.61 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2022. It also stated that domestic debt was 21.75 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2021, but increased to 26.23 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2022. This, is further stated, shows that public debt grew by 20.81% in the second quarter of 2022 from figures recorded in second quarter of 2021. Meanwhile, Jigawa recorded the lowest debt with 45.13 billion naira, followed by Ebonyi and Kebbi with 59.11 billion naira and 60.41 billion naira, respectively. Abdurrahman Hamis Namadina, Freedom Radio.
And on the foreign scene, fighter jets from the Democratic Republic of the Congo have bombed rebel targets in the embattled east, escalating the country's fight against the M23 group, which has seized territory in the recent weeks. Momsan Oba reports.
Kinshasa has accused neighboring Rwanda of backing the rebels, and last week expelled Rwanda's ambassador, raising tension between the two countries. Kigali has long denied providing support to the M23. Jean-Claude Bambazi, president of the civil society in Rutshuru, a town in North Kivu province, told the Associated Press that aerial bombardment were reported in the villages of Chanzu and Musungati, about 35 kilometers from Rutshuru. The recent advances by the M23 has displaced at least 90,000 people since the fighting resumed in the region last month. There was no immediate confirmation or comment from the Congolese military on the reported aerial bombardments. Meanwhile, North Korea fired at least one ballistic missile today, the latest launch from Pyongyang, following a record-breaking testing blitz earlier this month. Seoul's military said the launch comes as the United States counted votes in the midterm election for House and Senate, which Seoul's spy agency had previously warned will be a possible moment for Kim Jong-un to conduct a long-expected nuclear test. Seoul's Joint Chief of Staff said North Korea fires an unspecified ballistic missile toward its sea, referring to the body of water, also known as the Sea of Japan. The military did not give any further details. Japan also confirmed the launch, with the government tweeting that Pyongyang has launched a suspected ballistic missile. Earlier this month, North Korea conducted a flurry of launches, including an intercontinental ballistic missile, which Seoul said appeared to have failed. Muhammad Sanuba, Freedom Radio.
And with this, we've come to the end of today's Global News. On behalf of the entire production team, I am Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Have a wonderful evening.